Have you ever stopped to think that Elsa from Frozen and Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians might be siblings? I know it seems unlikely at first. After all, they are characters from different studios, Disney and DreamWorks. But when we analyze their stories and characteristics, a lot of clues emerge that make this theory make a lot of sense. One of the biggest pieces of evidence supporting this theory is the fact that Elsa and Jack Frost have extremely similar powers. And more than that, they are the only ones in their respective universes to have them. In Frozen, Elsa is born with the ability to create and control ice. Her magic is mysterious, and it is never explained where it comes from. The only clue we have is that the trolls say she was born with this gift, suggesting either a family inheritance or some kind of special magical connection. Meanwhile, in Rise of the Guardians, Jack Frost gains his powers after dying while saving his sister. He is reborn as an immortal being with ice and wind abilities, but has no memories of his past life. Just like Elsa, Jack is unique. No other character in the film has powers similar to his. Now think about this. What if they share the same magical lineage? If Jack were actually a member of Arendelle's royal family, this could explain why Elsa was born with special powers. Maybe, in reality, Elsa inherited these powers from her older brother, Jack Frost, without ever knowing of his existence. And there's more. Both can control ice in strikingly similar ways. Jack can shape ice and snow with extreme precision, just as Elsa does when building her ice castle. They can both walk on ice effortlessly, create storms, and even transform entire surfaces into ice. The coincidence is too big to ignore. If Elsa's magic came from somewhere in Arendelle's past, Jack could be the answer to this mystery. If Jack Frost really were Elsa's brother, why doesn't he ever mention Arendelle? And why has Elsa never known of his existence? The answer might lie in Jack's memory loss. In Rise of the Guardians, Jack wakes up without any recollection of his human past. He spends centuries wandering alone, not knowing who he is, until he finally discovers that before becoming the Spirit of Winter, he was just a regular boy, and had a younger sister. The scene where Jack recovers his memory shows that he died saving his sister from falling into a frozen lake. But what if this story isn't as simple as it seems? The theory, was Jack's sister a royal of Arendelle? Think about it, the scene of Jack's death never reveals his sister's name, nor does it provide many details about his family. If Jack were actually a prince of Arendelle and his death was considered a tragic accident, it would make sense for him to have been erased from the kingdom's history. Now let's connect this to Frozen. In the film, it is never mentioned whether Elsa and Anna had another older brother. But we do know their parents kept secrets, so much so that they hid Elsa's powers for years and kept her magic hidden from everyone. If Jack was a prince of Arendelle who died tragically, it could explain why Elsa was born with similar powers years later. Perhaps the king and queen hid this truth to protect Elsa, fearing that her story would end the same way as Jack's. Why did the winter spirits choose Jack? But then, if Jack really were a prince of Arendelle and Elsa's brother, why did the winter spirits choose him to become the guardian of Frost? Maybe his connection to snow and ice was so powerful that he became part of the very essence of winter. Or maybe the ice spirits were simply preserving the magical lineage of Arendelle's royal family, ensuring that both Jack and Elsa had a special destiny. This means Jack and Elsa could be connected not just by blood, but also by the very magic of winter. Do Jack Frost and Elsa look alike? If Jack Frost and Elsa are siblings, this should be reflected in their appearance, right? And guess what? The two look incredibly similar. Let's analyze a few details. Silver hair. Both Jack and Elsa have very light, almost white hair, which is extremely rare among animated characters. In Frozen, Elsa's hair is explained as an effect of her magic. But what if that wasn't just a peculiarity of hers? If Jack is from the same lineage, his hair might have changed the same way when he became the Guardian of Winter. Intense blue eyes. Another striking feature of both characters is their incredibly blue eyes. In both films, their eye color is much more vibrant than other characters, like Anna, who also has blue eyes but in a more common shade. This could indicate a special genetic heritage, or even a sign of the same magic running through their veins. Winter aesthetic. The two dress similarly, always in outfits that reflect ice and snow. Jack wears a frozen blue hoodie and worn-out brown pants, while Elsa wears her ice dress, both carrying this icy, ethereal atmosphere. Magical aura. Another interesting detail is how both are visually portrayed. Jack Frost always has snowflakes and ice particles floating around him, just like Elsa, who creates snow and magical sparkles in the air whenever she uses her powers. The similarity between them is so strong that when Rise of the Guardians and Frozen were released close together, 2012 and 2013, Fans immediately started comparing the characters and creating theories about a possible connection between them. A shared fate of isolation. If there's something that truly connects Jack Frost and Elsa, beyond their appearance and powers, it's how both spent much of their lives isolated from the world. Elsa, fear of hurting others. Since childhood, Elsa was taught to hide her powers because they could be dangerous. Her parents, fearing she might hurt Anna or be seen as a threat by the kingdom, locked her in the castle and made her live away from any human contact. Jack Frost, a spirit forgotten by the world. Jack Frost also spent a long time alone, but for a different reason. After becoming an immortal spirit, no one could see or hear him. He didn't exist to people because no one believed in him. Isolation as a shared destiny. Both characters were forced to live in isolation because they didn't understand their powers and had no one to help them control them. Were Elsa's parents hiding a secret? In the films, Elsa and Anna's parents, King Agnar and Queen Iduna, die in a mysterious shipwreck while traveling to an unknown destination. But could this tragedy hide an even bigger secret? A fascinating possibility is that the King and Queen of Arendelle had another child before Elsa, a firstborn who, for some reason, was lost before Frozen's story began. If Jack Frost were this lost brother, his death could have been a great trauma for the royal family, leading Elsa's parents to fear any other child with magical powers. Could Jack Frost still have a role in Elsa's story? If this connection truly exists, then maybe Jack still has an important role in Elsa's story. After all, he has spent all eternity as a spirit of winter, and Elsa might be the only one capable of feeling that connection. What do you think? Do you believe this theory could be real, or do you think it's just an amazing coincidence?